Chances are that today you've been part of a vast poisoning of our environment. America is a country addicted to oil and its car culture. Every day, our automobiles belch countless pollutants into the atmosphere, including greenhouse gases, oxides of nitrogen, volatile organic compounds, carbon monoxide, particulates, carbon dioxide. The list goes on. More than half, a staggering 51% of carbon monoxide introduced into the atmosphere comes from automobiles. The message is clear. We must wean ourselves off of oil, both from foreign sources and our own. Once the global supply of 300 million-year-old fossil fuel is depleted, the situation for the Earth itself is dire. Our environment can only accept so many insults. Recent oil spills only serve to emphasize the importance of this matter for our immediate children and those who will follow. Each day we continue to rely on the automobile, we are slowly murdering those with asthma and respiratory illnesses, hastening the widespread destruction of our home, and destroying the fragile ecosystems whose interwoven natures are at risk of complete collapse.
Driving a privately owned car is the most polluting act an individual can commit. An average American man spends over 1,600 hours a year in and on his car. He works to earn the money required to pay for fuel, insurance, taxes, tickets, and monthly installments. In fact, each day, he spends 4 of his 16 waking hours on the road or collecting the necessary resources to facilitate this. In the end, an American male will spend 1,600 hours a year in a car to travel only 7,500 miles. The EPA classifies cars as mobile sources of pollution that introduce emissions via combustion and fuel evaporation. These pollutants originate from gasoline, 1,143 gallons per household per annum, 16 billion stops at gas stations each year. Other pollution from cars disrupts the environment in different ways. The leakage of oil and other liquids, like antifreeze and brake fluid, can infiltrate water sources, especially when the car is parked near a sewage drain. Washing a car in the driveway is another source of water pollution. Car wash businesses are required by law to reuse their water or to send it to sewage treatment plants. It is clear that our dependence
Every day in New York City, over 25% of commuters use the mass transit system. 54% of commuters do not drive a car to work. The New York City subway system is the world's most extensive subway system, covering the vast majority of the metropolis. Subways are designed to convey as many people to their destinations as possible, with the least use of energy per trip. Although New York City is a benchmark of excellence in rapid transit, the rest of America lags behind. High-speed rail, which is growing in prominence in East Asia and Europe, has not seen similar adoption in the United States, despite reduced potential for pollution per person, repeated attempts by Amtrak in the past, and comparable speeds to air travel. Commuter rail, popular in New England, facilitates convenient transportation to suburbs in New Jersey and New York. In San Francisco, ferries have been utilized to a great extent to transport commuters through the Bay Area. Buses have been widely used in the U.S., including cities such as Los Angeles and Chicago. But what of the environmental impact caused by mass transit? Consider this. A 2002 study by the Brookings Institution and the American Enterprise Institute reveals that public transportation in America uses about half the fuel consumed by cars, SUVs, and light trucks. It also found that privately owned cars emit 95% more carbon monoxide, 92% more volatile organic compounds, and about twice as much carbon dioxide and nitrogen oxide than public vehicles for every mile traveled. Public transportation allows cars to be
Among the most ideal solutions for our pollution issues are walking or biking to work, releasing no emissions. Increased physical activity would correct the health of our nation's people as well as fight our dependence on oil. Companies such as Tesla Motors and Boulder are capitalizing on the increasing demand for energy efficiency as oil prices continue to rise. Other technologies of the future include regenerative braking, whereby the energy applied to stop the car is cycled back through the transmission as power. Our collective situation is improving. President Obama at this year's State of the Union address cited the importance of high-speed rail as crucial to the reduction of car pollution. In January 2010, he announced 13 high-speed rail projects around the nation worth $13 billion.
Imagine whisking through towns at speeds over 100 miles an hour, walking only a few steps to public transportation, and ending up just blocks from your destination. Imagine what a great project that would be to rebuild America. Now, all of you know this is not some fanciful...
It is imperative that a drastic ideological shift be implemented around the nation. We are at a crossroads. We must educate our neighbors and families about the problems caused and sustained by cars. We must understand these weaknesses and register them in our minds. Our dusty bicycles should be removed from their closets. Our investments must focus on energy efficiency, future car technologies, and mass transit.
What can you do?
Use mass transit. If it's unavailable, ask your leaders for it.
Ride a bicycle.
Walk to work.
Carpool with friends.
Believe that we can make a difference.
If we can change our thinking, we can galvanize others to act and invest in our futures.